Hello, welcome to the Celt experience. This is going to be part of your interactive brew tour. Please follow me. We're starting here in the Brewery Celt, where we serve lovely dishes along with our beer food ties. So join me, come around the Celt experience. So welcome to our hop store. This is kept under 10 degrees C to keep the hops in prime condition. We're taking in hops from America, from New Zealand, from the UK and from Europe, and this just gives that perfect blend of aromatics, flavour and bitterness for our beers. Welcome. Okay, so this is our warehouse where we're storing our beer, which is going out to over 20 countries internationally and also to all of our UK customers. We're storing anything up to 40 pallets at a time of fresh beer ready to go out. Have a look. So this is our malt store. This is the area where we collect all of our malt together to make our grist. You can see our grist crushing in the background with Gav on top of the case, making sure everything goes in there at the perfect ratio. So here we are, malt store, plenty of grain. Have a look. Welcome to our cask store. This is where our beer is aging for the minimum of a fortnight after we finish brewing. This is basically where all of our little yeast cells are doing their work on the little bits of sugar that are left in the beer and turning it into a nice bubbly cask conditioned beer. We also store keg in here as well, just at the set temperature, which is perfect for the beer to get the maturation it needs. Welcome. Welcome to our bottling area. This is where we're running usually around 5 to 6 days a week, hitting out bottles at around 1,500 bottles per hour max. Hopefully with our new line we'll be installing over the next few weeks, it will be running up to 2,000 to 2,500. But this line is running all the time at the moment because a lot of our export and UK demand. So have a look, see what you think. So this is our 3-head cask washer, which was decommissioned from Smiles Brewery in Bristol around 7 years ago. We reinstalled it here, and this is now where we get all of those dirty, filthy bacteria and bugs out of the casks to give a nice pristine inside, which is clean and ready to go with our lovely conditioned beer. So this is our conditioning area. This is where the beer comes after it's finished fermentation. It's left to settle out in these tanks and get to that prime maturation and make sure we get the correct yeast count before we rack off into our tanks and our vessels going out to trade. So we're here at the Brewhouse. This is a mash tun which I designed myself to hold a nice thick layer of insulation, 50 barrel size mash tun. Onto the copper, this came out of a brewery that I started working 20 years ago, which is called Buckham Brewery in the southwest of the UK. So this holds 42 barrels. And then we've got the percolator. Freshly in, this is what we call the hop druid. We can ram up to 40 kilos of fresh leaf hop in here, so we get lots of aromatics out of the beer. Welcome to the Brewhouse. Here I am in our lab with Gav working away on the scope, checking out the yeast counts for our next rack, which I believe is, what are we looking at, Gav?
1.8 at the moment.
So 1.8 million cells, which is perfect for this rack. In the lab, this is where it all happens. This is where we make sure we get the quality for each beer. And this is where we make sure, again, we get the right level of yeast and no dirty bacteria, which we have to keep out of this place. This is it. This is where we do it all. Gav, show me your pretty face, will you? So, the final stage of the brew process is where we pitch our yeast cells into these big fermenters we've got behind me. These are 40 barrel fermenters. We've also got an 80 barrel fermenter. And this is where those angry little yeast cells are turning our delightful worts into alcohol and giving us that flavour that makes our beer so distinctive. So this is our fermentation area.
Hope you enjoyed the tour. You're welcome anytime.